Now, here's the host of Good as Gold, Nick Grovich.
Hi, Nick Grovich here with you again on a sunny Thursday afternoon here in, where are we, Phoenix? Somebody was telling me about a painting that's going up for auction soon. I was looking for that before we got on the air. They're telling me that they're expecting this painting to go for $140 million. So I was on the internet looking up the most expensive paintings. And I guess the most expensive painting is a Pablo Picasso that was done in 1932 that sold for $106.5 million for a painting. And as I looked farther, the next most expensive painting was $90.9 million, then $63.5 million. There's a Vincent van Gogh, went in 1997 for $63.1 million. And it goes down from there, but that's some big money for paintings. And the reason I'm bringing that up is, people talk about rare coins all the time, and they talk about these incredible prices that some of the coins are going for. Now, I'm not trying to tell you every rare coin is going to go for millions of dollars, but what made me think of this, I had a client who spent several $100,000, and the coins they had for hundreds of thousands of dollars, there was nothing special in there. It was just a lot of stuff, a lot of the same stuff that everybody else has. They had St. Gaudens, they had some, modern coins in MS-70 and MS-69, but still nothing really special about the coins they owned. And I start thinking, gee, if I had $200,000, would I buy a whole bunch of stuff that a million other people own, or would I try and buy something that maybe one or two or three or four other people might have? And, at the office, I've got a Proof 66 St. Gaudens that we just paid $115,000 for. And as most of you know, I'm not a big fan of recommending rare coins to clients. And the guys at the office and I were sitting around talking about it, and they said, well, who would buy a coin like that? And I said, well, think about it. And I talked about this client. I said, he spent hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he has nothing special in his collection. He's just got a lot of junk, a lot of stuff that everybody else has. He'll probably never make money on it unless gold goes to $5,000 an ounce, because there's nothing rare, there's nothing unusual. He's just got a lot of stuff. And I said, for somebody like that who has a lot of money invested, and they just have a lot of, this and that, there's no really rhyme or reason to it. It's not a collection. It's not something he enjoys. He thinks he's in rare coins. He's really not. I said, I'd rather see him own one coin like this for we paid 115, so I'd sell it to him for 125,000. But I'd rather see him own one really spectacular coin for $125,000. And so from there, we start talking about, the prices of other coins. The most expensive U.S. coin is a 1794 silver dollar. And the coin, it's actually a pretty incredible coin. They can't prove it's the first coin that was made, the first silver dollar, 1794 silver dollar that was minted. But there's a lot of indications that it probably was. Now, I don't know that really matters that much. It's some people put a lot of value on being the first coin off the press. But that coin went for $10 million. And in the rare coin market, $10 million is a heck of a lot of money. I remember when I was a kid. In fact, a couple of weeks ago we were talking about some of the rarities. I'm jumping around here a little bit. But there was a 1913 nickel. And now in 1913, they had that's when they started making the buffalo nickel. We're all familiar with the buffalo nickel. But in 1912, they made what's called the Liberty nickel. It had a Liberty head on the front, and it had a V on the back for 5, Roman numeral V, or 5. And they had the dies already made for the coin, but they decided not to make it in 1913. So as happens with a lot of U.S. rare coins, the the director of the mint decided he would go in and make himself 5 coins since they had the die. So we know that there's only 5 of the 1913 Liberty Head nickels. Now, when I was a kid back in the 60s, I mean, I was only 12 years old, I think, when this coin was coming up for sale. And I don't remember the exact price, but I think it was $38,000 or something like that. And I told my dad, I said, you should buy that nickel. It's up for sale. And I don't remember the details that well. I just remember thinking, geez, there's only 5 coins. It's a king of rare coins, and he should buy it. So I told him, I said, buy that coin for $38,000. Well, of course, who's going to listen to a 12-year-old kid? And in the 1960s, $38,000, it's like asking for $1 million, I guess. My dad said, I didn't have $38,000 then. And that coin recently sold for $4 million. So my point is, $38,000 was a heck of a lot of money back. I want to say it was the 60s, 67, 68. I might have the wrong year. Then in the 70s, it went for $100,000. Then in 96, I think the coin went for $1 million. And then the last time it sold was right around $4 million. So, I'm kind of looking at some of these coins and comparing them to some of the rare art that's out there. And, when you compare the true rare coins to art, some of them really look pretty cheap. I mean, would you rather buy one of 5 nickels for $4 million or buy a painting for $140 million? All of a sudden, to me, some of these super rare coins don't look so bad. But that doesn't mean that the coins you're going to go out there and buy an MS-65 St. Gaudens for, $2,000. It doesn't mean that all rare coins are a good deal. I'm getting some messages here. And that doesn't mean all your 1921 silver dollars are worth a ton of money either. Those are still common coins. They're not going to be worth millions of dollars. So if you're sitting on a bunch of Morgan dollars, that's not what I'm talking about. But getting off track here. So this 1913 nickel, it's one of the rarest coins around, went for $4 million. The 1794 dollar, not the 1921 Morgan, the 1794 flowing hair dollar went for $10 million. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you have a lot of money invested in coins, you're probably better off to have 1 or 2 really spectacular coins than having, a drawer full or a car full or a minivan full of coins, because you're better off to have the best of the best. If you're going to be in rarities, you're going to be in rare coins, you're much, much better off to have the rarest and the best of the best is what makes money. And I guess that's the connection I was making to the art. Not all art goes for a lot of money. In fact, I would guess probably 99% of it goes for almost nothing. So if you buy the right art, of course, which is a small portion of the market, the people that have the money can afford to buy these hundreds of $1 million paintings. They probably will never lose money. They could probably sit on that painting and eventually double or triple their money.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
Okay, I'm back with you. What? I guess what I'm saying is this. I have a lot of clients who spend $100,000, $200,000. I've got quite a few who have spent over $1 million. Some with me, some elsewhere. But, and I realize sometimes people don't just plunk down $1 million. They buy it $100,000 or $200,000 at a time. But I get people all the time. I have one client who calls me. He's very proud of his coins. He doesn't buy anything for less than $5,000. The problem is I sit down, I look through his coins, and all these coins he's paying $5,000 for are worth $1,500. So, he's buying what he thinks are such rare and unusual coins, and people get so caught up in these modern coins in MS-70 or, MS-69. And, people, that is the trend. I guess if you buy them right, if you can buy them for the $1,500, not the $5,000, you're not taking a big risk. But most people are buying these coins at high retail prices. They believe everything their salesman tells them. And before they know it, they've got hundreds of thousands of dollars invested. And so I guess what I'm telling my guys at the office, if you have a client, they have a couple $100,000, a $500,000, $1 million. They want to be in rare coins. There's an awful lot, believe it or not, there's an awful lot of coins worth $500,000 to $1 million that are actually available in the market right now. I've talked about this before. There's some big collections that have been being auctioned off here over the last year. Some of the collections are so big they can't simply do one or two auctions to sell them. They're too massive. So it takes maybe a half a dozen auctions just to sell all the coins into this market. The coin market's a small market. You can't sell hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars worth of coins at one time. A big auction is $20 or $30 million. So if you're sitting out there and you've got $1 million invested and you just have a car full of coins, it really makes a lot more sense if you want to be in something rare, like the art. You want to be in something that nobody else owns, something that's really spectacular. There's a lot of really neat things out there right now. There's, some of the things that I've seen sell over the past year that I've never seen in 35 years as a dealer. There's a 1792 half dime in I forget what shape that was in, proof 67 or specimen 67, which is a top grade coin. 1792 silver center cent. That coin, it's a copper coin, but they put 1 cent worth of silver right in the middle of the coin. And again, very rare coin, very historic coins. Those are some of the first coins that were made in this country. Other coins, I saw an 1894 San Francisco dime went for big money. There's a lot of really good coins that, in the coin market would be the equal of buying a Vincent van Gogh, a Monet, or a Picasso. So I can't guarantee that somebody has $1 million coin or a $200,000 coin. I can't guarantee that they're going to make a lot of money right now in the market, but I think there's a lot of coins you could buy that your risk is really small on. So I think you could put that money somewhere a lot safer than into following the crowd right now on just what salesmen are promoting and hoping that the salesmen are going to run the market up. You could put it somewhere where I really think it's pretty safe. I think the one good thing I can tell you about a good portion of the rare coin market, I don't think there's a lot more downside on it. So you might buy something and, to me, worst case scenario, it might not go up for a while unless you really buy these one of a kind type rarities, the Vincent van Goghs of the coin market. So that said, if you're one of the many people out there sitting on $500,000 or $1 million worth of coins, and you have more than a handful of coins, you really ought to think about, number one, do you really want to be in rare coins? And if the answer is yes, then you really ought to think about putting it in something that's worth owning. Like I said, it's buying the Picasso or the Van Gogh of the coin market. Get the best, get something that no one else can have, and you probably end up doing okay on that. I wanted to, last 2 weeks ago, I was talking about some of the rarest coins out there. This 1913 nickel is kind of a funny story. By the way, if you're in Phoenix and you want to talk about anything in particular, any questions, any special coins you want to talk about, call me at the station at 602-324-1510. If you're in Palm Springs, call me at my office. You could talk to me or one of the guys, Don, Steve, Carl. That number is 800-221-7694. We'll be glad to answer any questions you have. But the 1913 nickel is kind of an interesting story. I started telling you that it was one of the coins I told my dad to buy. Of course, I was only about 12 years old, so who's going to listen to a 12-year-old and spend that kind of money? But it was interesting after he saw the coin sell again 4 years later for more than double what I told him. All of a sudden, my dad wanted me to buy rare coins for him, and that's probably how I got started in this business. Actually, when I think about it, I had a little formula that I came up with to try and figure out the relative rarity of one coin to another. And it's a real simple formula. I mean, I guess anybody can figure this out. You just take the price times the number of coins that were minted, which is a really vague way to do it. I guess any more you could do it times the population rather than the mintage. But you take that and you end up with a number. And the lower the number, that means that coin is more underpriced compared to any other coin. So I would sit down on a weekend and I'd go through the red book, and by the time the weekend was done, I'd have a notebook full of all different silver dollars and half dollars and nickels, you name it. I had the whole catalog there and I'd assign different numbers, and then we'd find the coins with the lowest possible number, and my dad would go out to the coin shops and try and buy those coins. And he did really well on some of them. We bought some old 1878 silver dollars, and he about quadrupled his money on those in 2 years using my little formula. Now that formula is pretty basic. I don't know that it still works that way. But the 1913 nickel is an interesting story. There are only 5 coins known. We know that there are only 5 known. I think there's rumors that maybe there's a 6th coin out there, but the records show that there are 5 coins known. But for the longest time, they only knew where 4 of the 5 coins were. They knew who made the coins. They have, all the coins are pedigreed. They know where they've come from. But there was one coin missing, and I can't remember which year it was, but PCGS decided that they would do a promotion to try and find this last coin. So they offered a $10,000 reward to anyone who brought in the 5th example of the 1913 Liberty nickel. Now, it wasn't $10,000 for the coin. They were just giving $10,000 if you had the coin and basically showed it to them and authenticated it with PCGS. So the story is that it turned out it belonged to this family called the Walton family. They heard about the $10,000 reward. They decided to get their coin authenticated a second time. And it's funny because they actually took that coin to one of the big coin dealers in New York City, and they were told it was a counterfeit coin. And it was I'm trying to remember the whole story, but it was pretty incredible because they found the coin when the old man Walton was in a car crash. He was in a car wreck in 1962, and they recovered this coin from the crash site along with a lot of other coins. And his sister inherited the coin, and they took it to Stax Auction Company in New York, which Stax is a very well-known company, and they told them that it was a counterfeit coin, so they took it back. So, 40 years later, PCGS runs this $10,000 reward for anyone who can find the 5th coin, and the Walton family brings the coin in and thought, well, I assume they thought we might as well have them take another look at it. So 40 years later, they find out the coin was real. They end up putting it at auction in 1996, and it sells for $1 million. So that was it was a pretty interesting story of where that coin came from, and a lot of these it's not one of a kind, but these super rare coins have interesting stories like that. The 1894 dime. They made 24 of those. The story is that the director of the mint, his books were off by $2.40, and rather than balance the books, it was easier to just make 24 dimes. And, if you read about it, it's an 1894 Barber dime. There's all kinds of stories of his daughter getting the dimes and spending them on ice cream, and there's all kinds of crazy stories with it. But, all that's part of the history and the pedigree of these coins, and it makes them very valuable. And, that's the type of coin, if you want to spend $4 million, you probably won't lose a lot of money on something like that.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
All right, I'm back with you. If you have anything you want to talk about, I know they're giving out the 800 number for Palm Springs. That's the office number if you want to talk online here. Well, during the live show, it's 602-324-1510. I do want to let you know that we are putting on a seminar this coming Tuesday, April 21st. It's from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. at the JW Marriott at Desert Ridge. It's a complimentary, that means free seminar. You don't have to bring anything but yourself. We'll give you a pen, a pad of paper, all the propaganda you need. It's going to be a quick, down and dirty 2-hour, in-depth as we can get in 2 hours. So you can bring your questions, ask us whatever you like. It's a good opportunity. I think it's a good opportunity. Come meet us. I don't know how you feel. I like to meet people before I deal with them. Come meet us. See if you like us. If you do, great. Deal with us. If not, no hard feelings. Go deal with someone else. I think you'll like us once you meet us, though, especially Jen, because she's such a ball of fire here. Anyway, come out. You could ask us questions. If you have coins, you could bring your coins with you. You might want to let us know so we can provide a little security for you. Maybe a safer way to go would be just bring a list of the coins that you own, and we'd be happy to do a portfolio review or a coin review while you're there. We can pull up charts and show you how they've done. I just talked to a gentleman on the phone today. Now he's back in Pennsylvania, so he won't be at the seminar. But he was telling me that he bought coins from another firm here in the valley, and it was really kind of hard to get a feel for what he was talking about. But he was telling me he bought 2.5 Indians, 5 Indians, and $10 Indian head coins in MS-65, and he was just happy just sitting on the coins and waiting for something to happen. And by the time I kind of figured out what he was trying to tell me, his coins are worth less than half of what he paid for them, and he bought them back in the 90s. So he's waiting for gold to go up all over again. And I said, well, why don't we at least chart these coins? You think you missed it, but those coins did nothing but go down since you bought the coins. And he's expecting gold to go up, so he thinks gold's going to $3,000 an ounce. And my question is, you already held those coins since gold was $200 an ounce. It went to almost $2,000 an ounce, and you lost half your money. What's going to change if gold goes back up? And he liked the idea of charts. He saw a couple charts of a few other coins that I'd sent him before, and it's just a good way. Granted, just because something happened one way in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen that way in the future. But I think it's really helpful to see how your coins did in good markets and bad. And we can chart that. You can see how they did when gold went up. And the reason I say that, a lot of people are still sitting on coins and they think, well, I'm going to hold my coins till gold goes back up. Well, if they didn't go up last time gold went up, why are they going to go up this time? So it's just something, it's a good opportunity to get a lot of really good information. If there's something you disagree with me about, or someone else is telling you something opposite of what I'm telling you, bring it there and challenge me. See, I can prove everything I tell you. Maybe you'll bring up something that I haven't thought about. For a long time, I've made an offer not just to dealers but to my clients that the first one who could prove me wrong, I'd pay them $5,000. If they could prove me wrong about what I said about rare coins compared to gold over the last 15 years, even in the down market. But there's some conditions on that. Of course, I want to see invoices. Anybody can go and make something look good on paper. I want to see invoices that someone bought a coin, sold a coin, and actually made a profit. Anyway, I'm getting off task here. Come out and see us at the seminar. Hopefully we can give you some really good information. I guarantee you, if nothing else, if you're buying coins, you're buying bullion, I can tell you how to save a little bit of money on your purchases and hopefully maybe steer you in the right direction. So that's Tuesday, April 21st from 1 to 3 p.m. at the JW Marriott. And that's Marriott Drive in Phoenix. We're also having a second seminar Wednesday, May 20th at the Lakes Recreation Center at Westbrook Village in Sun City. So go on our website, AmericanFederal.com, and sign up. You could call the office. It's 800-221-7694. Tell them you want to sign up for either one of the seminars. They'll be glad to get you in there. The other thing I wanted to mention is we have a preferred client program. It's an email-only newsletter. And the reason we really have to use email is it gets overwhelming to write a piece, print a piece, get it out in the mail. The problem is by the time I get it out in the mail and you get it it's 10 to 14 days later and the information's old or the coins we have are sold. So the information's too old by the time I get it to you. And the only way we can get you really good information in a timely manner is by email. We call that our preferred member program. You can also go to AmericanFederal.com and sign up for that. We have a special right now. If you sign up, again, it's complimentary. You don't have to pay for that right now. We tell you when to sell certain coins. We tell you our opinion on coins that are worth buying at certain times. And of course, you're always welcome to call and talk to us in person and ask us questions. But if you sign up right now, sign up over the next week, I'm going to offer that your first purchase, I don't care if it's $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, I will sell you your first purchase at 1% over whatever my cost is. I don't care if it's silver, gold, rare coins, Eagles, St. Gaudens, it doesn't matter. But sign up in the next week, and I'm offering a special 1% over my cost. So if you're looking to spend some money, it's probably worth it just to get the 1% over cost because you're going to save an awful lot of money in commissions that way. So I want to talk a little bit about risk. I talk a lot about buying older date Eagles. Here's some things we've talked about before, and the market's starting to change a little bit. I always talk about buying older date Eagles, whether you want gold, silver, or platinum. What's interesting is I just can't find platinum right now. I've had clients call me and say, "Oh, so and so online has platinum Eagles," and then when it comes down to it, the delivery is delayed indefinitely on them. I would love to be selling platinum Eagles right now. I just simply can't get my hands on them. What else is interesting is earlier this week I wrote an email through my preferred client program with a handful of Silver Eagle monster boxes. Now, a monster box, that's just what everybody calls them. It's a green mint box. They're sealed by the mint. It's 500 coins in a box, so 500 ounces of silver. And generally, they call them monster boxes because they're so heavy. They weigh about 35 to 40 pounds. And I got maybe 30, 35 boxes of older dates in there, and I paid a couple $100 a box extra for it. Well, the whole idea, and this is what I've been talking to you about on all the different Eagles, is you buy the older coins. If you have to pay a couple dollars extra for the older coins, I really think it's worthwhile, whether it's, half ounce gold Eagles, quarter ounce, 10th ounce. I'd get the fractional gold, anything in platinum, and really just about anything on the silver Eagles. So what I did in this email is I explained that I had these older dates and that they were going to cost, they averaged about $200 a box more than buying the 2015 coins. So you're talking about spending 70 cents that's 40 cents a coin more to get the older dates. And the reason you want to buy those older dates is dealers have been promoting these modern coins as investments to a lot of their clients. So if they go out and they decide to put the Eagle sets together, what they really want to do, they will buy rolls of coins. A roll is 20 coins, but they'd really rather buy a whole box of coins. Then they know nobody has searched through it. Nobody's damaged the coins. They're not the reject coins. They're all fresh coins because they're in a mint box. So that's the preferred way that dealers like to buy them. So if a dealer's out there putting sets together, maybe he ends up at a point where, he can't find the 2008s or he can't find the 1986s, whatever the date is. And what I have always found in the past, whether it's Eagles or truly rare coins, is that if you have that one coin that somebody needs to finish a set, they will oftentimes pay you 40 or 50 or even 100% too much for it because it frees up the rest of their coins. So imagine if you had 28 of these monster boxes, and all you needed was one last box. Well, that's 500 sets of coins you're freeing up. So Would you pay too much for that last box? Sure. You'd probably pay double what they're worth just to get that last box and free up 500 sets of coins so your brokers could retail those coins. And that's kind of the idea behind it. Hopefully you have one of the dates that somebody needs when they're doing this. It was really funny because I sent the email out, and later the same day I got a bid sheet from one of the country's biggest dealers, and he had 14 different dates of Silver Eagles on a want list. And I mean, some of them he was paying up to $66 a coin for the 1996s. Others he was paying, $20 to $30 a coin for. So, it was kind of interesting that somebody would be looking for those at the exact same time I was telling people to buy them. But it's a really good way to go. You can go to the website, AmericanFederal.com. We sold quite a few of those boxes. If you want one of those, I can get you that. AmericanFederal.com. I'll be back in a second.
Once again, here's Nick Grovich.
Okay, I'm back with you. One of my clients brought up a good point. I don't really push the rare coins. I think there's a place for them in a lot of people's portfolios, but certainly not the majority of portfolios. And even on the Eagles, I like to buy the older coins simply because we've had so much luck, and that's what part of it is, just luck. Buying the older dates and making money as the dealers run up the certain dates. And a lot of people look at the older date coins and they'll say, well, they want to buy the lowest mintage coins. And that goes back to collector mentality. Collectors are always looking at the lowest mintage. And the mintage doesn't tell you everything. It's kind of a starting point as to rarity. But you don't know how many coins. Now, the new coins, they, of course, have all survived. When you get into older coins from the 1800s, early 1900s, you really don't know how many of those coins survived. There might be 2 million coins made, and they could have been melted during the Pittman meltdown. They could have been melted along the way. They could have been melted as scrap. They could have been damaged. So the mintage alone doesn't tell you anything. But on the modern coins, a lot of people will look at the mintages and think if they buy the lowest mintage, that's going to be the one that goes up the most. And of course, there's some logic to that. If there's fewer coins made, your odds are better. But a good example is the first year of issue on the half-ounce gold eagle. That's actually the highest minted coin, but yet when dealers need that coin, they're happy to pay $1,000 for it. And so why, if that's the highest mintage, and just put it in perspective, I think the mintage was about 600,000 coins, and on most of the other coins, there's less than 100,000 made. So it's a big difference. Why would that first year of issue have a big 50% premium on it if there's so many coins? And the reason is, you have to remember most of the people who bought the Eagles, whether it's platinum, gold, or silver, they're bullion buyers. By that I mean they're just trying to buy gold, silver, or platinum. Most of these people were not trying to buy rare coins. The whole idea of the Eagles being a collectible, that's fairly new. That's really something that's happened in the last 5 years. Part of it is because dealers have promoted it and pushed it. I think part of it is because PCGS has started their registry set. And what the registry set is it's a place where collectors can register their collections to be the most complete and the highest quality, and they get certain amount of points for each date and each grade and all that. So if you have the most points, you get to list your name on the PCGS or NGC site as having the top registry set. The thing is, on the modern coins, there's so many MS70s out there that it's not a big deal in a lot of coins. Now, some of the older dates are actually worth quite a bit of money, but I'm getting sidetracked. But the reason that the higher prices on, for example, that first year of issue of the $25 gold piece, is because those people bought it as gold bullion. So somebody who bought a box of half-ounce gold eagles in 1986 or whenever they bought them, they bought it simply to watch the price of gold go up. So if gold goes to $2,000 or $1,500 or whatever the number is, that makes people start selling gold, those coins will start showing up in the marketplace simply because you'll have people taking their gold profits, their profits on the price of gold. But when the collector's market starts running those coins up, the people who bought as gold bullion, they don't have any idea what's going on in the collector's market. So you could raise the price to $2,000 a coin, and the odds of the person who owns those coins knowing that they're worth $2,000 a coin is very, very slim, because he's depending on a dealer to tell him that probably. And most dealers don't tell anyone that. They're hoping to buy them back and make the profit themselves, or it's for some reason, it's just not something most dealers share with their clients. So that's part of the reason why I think it's a good idea to buy those older dates. Are there a lot of them out there? Yeah, there's quite a few out there. Some of these dates of silver eagles, they've got 8 million, 10 million, even 30 million coins out there. And it's hard to believe that somebody doing a promotion can't find coins when there's 30 million coins out there. But when they're held by bullion buyers, that is people who bought because of the price of precious metals, you have to remember most of those people are looking at $16, $17 silver, so they're not even interested in selling their silver right now. If they're going to get scared out of this market, they probably have already gotten out. So at $16, $17 silver, we're not getting those coins back into the market. And as the dealers raise the price on the coins, I told you the 1986s are up to $33 a coin. So you're getting double the price of silver for just a normal 1 ounce silver coin. That's a pretty good premium, 100% premium for your silver. But the reason they're not getting coins is because the people who own them don't have any idea that they're worth anything as a collectible. So if you can buy them as bullion and sell them as a collectible, that's how you make money. Now, you don't have to agree with me. If you just want to buy 2015 dated coins and just buy today's bullion coins, call us up. We'll be glad to sell those to you. You want to buy St. Gaudens, even though I've said 100 times I'm not a big fan of St. Gaudens. Not everybody agrees. That's what makes a market. If we all thought coins were great, there'd be a one-way market. If we all thought St. Gaudens were terrible, if everybody was selling them, who would be left to buy them? I mean, that's what makes a market. Not everyone's going to agree on what's the right thing to do. So I'm happy to sell you whichever type of coins you want. I just find that I try and educate you a little bit more so that you're making an informed decision when you do that. And the other thing is, what the recommendations I make, they're very, very small risk, assuming you like the price of gold, silver, or platinum right now. I can't tell you where those are going. I'm not clairvoyant. I don't know where the price of gold's going. But if you're comfortable with that, let's face it, if you pay $6 an ounce more for your gold coins to get old dates, or even $20 an ounce more, I mean, that's what it moves in one day. Very often it'll be up $20 or down $20. So you're not taking a whole lot of risk by doing that. So, like I said, sign up for our preferred client program. I try and get you a lot of information out, good, bad, indifferent, whatever's going on in the marketplace. We also can help you liquidate your coins through the preferred client program. We're not always trying to sell you coins. A lot of times we're telling you which coins you should sell. I have clients who have had hundreds of boxes of silver eagles, and we are able to market them to other clients through the preferred client program. So go to AmericanFederal.com, sign up there. If you're in the market to buy something, I'll give you 1% over cost just to get you started in the markets. I want to talk about a couple of these other interesting coins. This whole idea of buying the Vincent van Gogh of the coin market. A lot of people don't really know what type of coins I'm talking about. One of the other really interesting coins is an 1804 silver dollar. And it's very interesting because they didn't make any 1804 silver dollars in 1804. They didn't start making them until 1834, and it's funny because they weren't going to make the coins for circulation. That is, they weren't going to make them to be distributed in the United States. They actually made them for they wanted to have a present for the King of Siam. The King of Siam was visiting the United States, so all of a sudden they got out these old 1804 dies and decided, I don't know why they decided to make them an 1804 set, but that's what they did. And that was I guess that was in 1834. So they have all these they have 3 different types of 1804 dollars, none of which were made in 1804. They're all made as an afterthought. And yet the last one that went at auction, I think, went for $4.1 million. So it's kind of interesting. The most valuable U.S. coins out there, for the most part, are all coins that were made under somewhat suspicious or auspicious circumstances. So that's it for this week. I'll try and have something else interesting next week, and I'll talk to you then.